Now, why is all this being done? And you've noticed some, and there's more I could talk about, but I've got to stop. Why is this being done? The Prime Minister said today in the House, this is to have a single review, you know, the usual mantra, because we need to provide, quote unquote, certainty to our investors. Who are our investors? Who objects to environmental assessment that we can say, think of? China. China doesn't like our environmental assessment laws, never has. That's why Sierra Club went to court when the Chrétien government provided a $1.5 billion loan to China to buy CANDU reactors from us and didn't do an environmental review. It was federal money involved. We went to court. China didn't like our environmental assessment laws, and they were weakened because of that case. Now, certainty to investors. What kind of certainty do investors want? That's why, and the only explanation I can come up with for why the National Energy Board has been amended, the National Energy Board Act is changed to say that Cabinet can overrule the National Energy Board. Anyone who's worked in energy policy knows that the National Energy Board approves projects. The National Energy Board does not turn down projects, but just in case Beijing is worried that there's a shred of democracy left in this country, and Stephen Harper's already promised them in Beijing, the Enbridge project, the great pipeline of China, will be built. We're not worried about what First Nations might think, and we're not waiting to find out what the government of British Columbia thinks. Come hell or high water, we're going to allow Chinese Communist Party state-owned enterprises in Alberta that get the bitumen out of the ground and run it through Chinese-controlled pipelines to Kitimat, to Chinese-controlled tankers, to Chinese-controlled refineries. I'm not anti-China. I'm not a xenophobe. But as God is my witness, we're selling this country down the drain for certainty for investors that are not democracies. We are selling out our democracy for the sake of oil. We are selling our country down the drain for the sake of other people in other countries processing bitumen into crude with refinery standards that God only knows are more polluting than if we handled it here in Canada. So that's, what's that? That's ethical oil. Well, here we are. We are right now at the cusp not just of stopping a prime minister who doesn't like environmentalists. That's clear. He hates us, okay. He'd rather we were all in jail, and someday we will be. If he stays, so this is the last thing I'm going to say. We can't wait, Malcolm, till 2015 for an election. We need to start a public demand and a public campaign. Stephen Harper must go. Somebody else should be prime minister.